Join me as you and I and you take a journey to become better writers together and geek out. Hello there, Appletinis. Guess what? It is the Shadow, the Nat, and the Ralph hanging out here on the Writ, straight from Brooklyn Comic-Con, which
We're
all
not
hung
at
out
Brooklyn
at
Comic-Con.
this weekend.
We're there in our heart. We didn't leave.
That was a lot of fun, man.
Evening, guys.
Listen,
Yeah,
when we
dude,
went to go get
anytime we chill.
pupusas, we left.
That was some good food, too.
That was great. Man.
Exactly.
You had me at, hey, I know a place with food.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That's one of the best burgers I've ever had. And I know everybody's like, wait, you went to a Spanish place? You had a burger? Yes, I did, and it was good.
Es gringo.
Too.
It wasn't even a Spanish burger. It was a regular burger. And of course, Shen was there too, hanging out with the guys, doing her own interviews, and having a lot of fun.
Rocking the mic.
Those interviews will be posted momentarily.
Exactly. One by one. I got one waiting in the outskirts to post. I'll probably post it tonight after the show. And of course, Traveling Root Beer is always here, folks, having fun, enjoying his root beer and his travel. And of course, we all know that Traveling Root Beer has a new book out called Just Some Guy. And if you want to know what Just Some Guy is about, you better go check it out on Amazon, because Just Some Guy, it's a lot of fun, and you will not see what comes coming, especially because you look at it and go, hey, this is just a regular book. What's happening? And then stuff starts to happen. Amazing stuff. Supernatural stuff. Dudes, I can't say enough about this book. You guys got to go check it out.
You heard the man.
Which book?
Just Some Guy. I like saying
the book.
Just Some Guy.
No, the book.
Just Some Guy.
All right, he's not telling it to me straight.
It's not early enough for that.
I am too much. All right, we got to cancel the show, guys. I am way too much here. Let's go.
No. We are not getting canceled off of that. We are not.
Wait, you want to get canceled? Hold up a second. Let me get some.
If we want to get canceled, we should get canceled for something actually worth getting canceled for.
So what you're telling me is you want me to figure out a way to get us canceled?
Oh, no, that's pretty easy. Me and Lou can do that in like 5 minutes.
You're probably right.
5 minutes.
Especially in this day and age.
So anyway, my friends, Brooklyn Comic-Con was lovely.
Oh, that was a blast, man. I really enjoyed Brooklyn Comic-Con.
Thank you guys for dragging me out to that, because I am not going to lie. I was looking at that drive into Brooklyn. I was like, oh, God, man. Y'all, you guys can,
Dude,
I haven't been on trains in a minute, man.
I saw the interview. The first interview's already up there. You did a fantastic job, man. You just jumped in there. You got your own personality going on with this interview. Can't wait to see
I made you look so pretty, Lou.
Yeah.
I gave you some nice makeup.
Like
Look, Traveling Root Beer is helping us be canceled.
Oh dear, no.
Never mind. We apologize, and we love being on.
I made a severe lapse in judgment.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're gonna have to send that on the apology tour.
Dude, I have to admit, like, I went to the first one with Lou's Lobby, and we had a blast, and it was amazing, and the cosplay there was like just like present. And it was the same thing this time. I was amazed at how much cosplay showed up for the Brooklyn Comic-Con.
Dude, there was good cosplay too.
Oh,
and
definitely.
A lot of it.
Major cosplay.
Oh,
and it was from all lines: anime, comic books, movies, TV shows,
video games.
Everywhere.
They ran the gambit on it. It was all really well done stuff.
Yeah. Oh, definitely
like
done.
You
saw that thing?
Naruto.
You saw the thing that was running around?
It's
Clobbering time.
Oh, that thing.
It was really good. Yeah,
I thought you meant like Thing 1 and Thing 2.
I saw them
too.
That would
be sweet.
Exactly. That's why I was like, which thing?
I saw Thing 1 and Thing 2 and the thing and the other thing and the other thing.
Yeah, we still going to counseling over that last one, but
listen, we're trying not to get canceled.
They can't.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
now that we keep saying it, this is gonna be the stream that gets us canceled.
Probably.
Yeah,
You said
hitting
canceled
all
one
the
too many times.
algorithms.
You're gonna be canceled.
I'm like half asleep too, so it's like
Yeah, don't worry. I think we're all in the same boat because I feel like we're all drinking something we're not supposed to be drinking at this hour.
I'm drinking coffee, but I
You're
don't
not supposed
know.
to be drinking coffee at this hour. I'm not supposed to be drinking Monsters at this hour.
Lou, what are you drinking at this hour?
Got milk.
Oh yeah, you could be drinking milk at this. Oh wait. That does
That's
not look
not
like
milk.
I feel like that's some
There's
special
nothing in it.
juice.
A tan squeeze, man. It's easy.
Alex Peng says hello. I say hello back to
Hello.
Alex. How are you
Greetings.
doing?
So,
All right, guys.
what was your guys' favorite part of Brooklyn Comic Con?
Dude. Oh my God. It's the fact that there was even though it was full and crowded, it was still spacious. You know, that you know, especially for somebody who has certain anxieties, that kind of helps out, you know?
Right.
You know, you get those social anxieties, you're in this crowded place, like New York Comic Con is always a blast. But this place was crowded, it was full, and you still felt like there was room to breathe.
I say
getting to be there with my friends.
Aw, I miss you too, Lou.
I gotta admit, it was great to see all you guys in one place.
That was great.
There was only one or two of us missing, but it was fun to get the gangs all together, the band all together.
Oh yeah,
it was, man. Well, you guys hit it the second day too. I couldn't get.
Yeah,
there.
even Kama showed up.
That was awesome.
Yeah, so, Kama showed up on the second day.
That.
Roaming Tony was there on the second day. Yeah, and the second day was a lot of fun. It was actually just as full as the first day. And I got to see some more people because there was just so much, so many vendors and so many comic book people and so much. There was just a lot there.
Hey, Peace was there. Impressed. That's what mattered. Love you, Peace.
Yeah, we got Peace to do an interview for us. I like messing with Peace.
Don't worry, Peace. I'll get that interview out soon enough. Want to show off your beautiful face. Though you're not the only one who showed up in an interview. We've seen some of your other interviews there.
Who said what? I said where?
Some of Peace's other interviews. Remember, he got interviewed by a couple of people.
Oh yeah, you're right. Peace did get interviewed by a couple of people. I saw him put it up. Yeah. Yeah, he was busy. Yeah. He was really busy. Dude, we missed people because I know Annie was supposed to be there, but I didn't get to see her, and she had a great cosplay with Harley Quinn.
Oh, really?
She went classic Harley.
Nice.
Which classic Harley?
The Jester Harley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then Barbie Chula was there. I didn't get a chance to talk to her because she had a crowd around her the whole time.
She had a big line.
Yeah.
The only time she was available was like early day one.
Yeah, you're right. When we first got there. And she wasn't even ready to go, so that's how I got freaking La Borinqueña, because his table was full the whole time we were there too.
Pretty much.
I got him like early on when I first got there.
Hey, man. Something to be said for being
the one major critique though I have to say about Brooklyn Comic Con: turn on the lights.
I gotta admit, if they would have turned on those lights and they had those lights up there, it would have been a little better. But I think they're the whole idea of the place is the sun's supposed to come in and light the whole place up. But it was cloudy.
Turn on the lights. Couldn't see half the stuff.
It was cloudy both days.
I liked it. It felt intimate, you know.
But dude, that was a great convention. It has great energy. There was a freaking after party after it, but we were like too tired to go to that.
Well, Lou had to take the long ride home.
Yeah, he had a way long ride home.
Dude, I cruised home too, going the speed limit.
Hey, you managed to pass the traffic, so you were good.
Let me see. The next couple of conventions are
5 Point. Out of your neighborhood in one piece, so I know you guys were worried about that.
That's true. Yeah. I see. The next couple of conventions: 5 Point Festival,
Yep, 5 point.
Yeah, 5 point at the end of the month. Eternal Con, July 4th weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Garden State Comic Fest the week after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm missing one.
Terrific Con.
There's
Terrific Con at the end of July. You're right.
San Diego.
I mean, there's also a couple that we're just straight up not going to be able to go to.
Yeah. Well, Phil is ending up at San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm like, whoa. And he's probably going to go see John Ottinger. And I'm like, double whoa, because I've been dying to meet John.
Yeah, you were rocking his pin all weekend.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And you know, it was fun to have the little pin, the little dwarf. You know, I feel like I always say it with a Brooklyn accent, dwarf, because he says
dwarf.
Dweors. There you go. Dweors.
Hey, Ma, you check the body in the dwarf, man.
See?
I think it's been riding up the pipeline.
Yeah, it was funny.
I've
been trying to say the name right. I've been going Dweors instead of dwarves because, you know, the Brooklyn accent just kicks in. Hey, yo. Oh, wait.
What's the thing you drink in the morning? You know, it's okay.
Listen, you get a slice of pizza and you eat and you fine. That's how we go, okay? Come on, we walking here.
Exactly.
This is our city.
All right, so what do we got to show today? Let's see. These guys, dude, I thought we were gonna have these guys on the show. I didn't realize for some reason that this thing is already 3 days away. I might have to like do a special show to get them on so they can talk about their Kaiju Mania.
Oh, it's got 3 days.
Kaiju Mania.
Yeah, I thought we had plenty of time to get them on the show, and then I look at this thing and it goes 3 days left. I'm like, 3 days left. So so just to let you guys know, maybe tomorrow or maybe Friday we might have them come on like a special episode of, or we might do the premiere episode of the show we've been working on, which is Virtual Venue.
I love it when my ideas stick.
Well, I like the idea of Virtual Venue, and it makes total sense, and it gives us a chance to be able to showcase people whenever we need to.
There you go. You got a winner in there.
Yeah. So Kaiju Mania is kaijus fighting each other. It's like kaiju wrestling. And you decide how this ends. You decide who wins. And that I have to admit, that's interesting right there. The fact that we decide who wins. I guess let's play the video because I don't think we've played it before. Let's see.
We have.
If it plays.
That looked pretty sweet.
That was pretty sweet. Dude, that looks fantastic. I love the concept of kaijus wrestling each other, and we decide the fate of who wins. That sounds fantastic. If you guys haven't had a chance to go check out Kaiju Mania, do so now because they only have 3 days left. We're gonna try to get the guys on either tomorrow or Friday if we can. I'm gonna have to talk to Pete and the rest of them to see if they can come on and talk Kaiju Mania.
Vote for the Pringles can.
Vote for the Pringles can. Dude, man. That was fantastic. Let's see. Of course, we have to talk about Here Comes Calico, which only has a couple of hours left. And this one comes to heart now because I've lost my companion Whiskey, and
you might want to clarify that a little bit, just so that people don't think it died by animal abuse, because that's what Here Comes Calico is all about.
Well, if it did die by animal abuse, then Calico will come after me, so we're okay.
There we go.
There you have it. It's Here Comes Calico. 48 hours to go. It is a fantastic little book about a vigilante who goes after people who abuse animals, and he does it Punisher style. So you guys should go over there, support this. They are at 2,746. They're already funded, but this is a worthy book to support, especially because it helps animals as you support the book.
If I remember right, I believe it was all the proceeds go directly to animal shelters.
Yeah, it goes to I think the partner is one of the partners, American
It's
Humane.
like the Humane Society.
American Humane.
Yeah,
American Humane, and he says all the proceeds go to helping out animals and organizations like American Humane.
100%, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
That's one of the amazing things about it is the fact that all that money goes over there. So do us a favor, do the animals a favor, do the a good independent comic book creator a favor, and go support Here Comes Calico. It's a worthy cause and a great book. And it only has 48 hours to go. So, please go do that, guys. Let's see what else is in here. Oh, of course, I wanted to share a new one that has just shown up on my radar. We've interviewed our friend Frank before. Boom.
Frank.
My lady. It is a new Kickstarter. It's a black and white one-shot supernatural horror comic. This guy is a great writer, and his books are just fantastic. Frank Martin, we've interviewed him before, especially because he had a nice detective noir book that I really liked. I'm waiting for issue 2 of that one. So guys, do yourselves a favor, go pick up My Lady. Go and support. This thing has 16 days to go. It already has 67 backers, 1,133. It's halfway to its goal. So let's get it there, people.
And also, don't forget, if you've seen our most recent video, there is another Kickstarter done by Red Sea Comics.
Yeah, you're right. Good memory. Go for it. Tell them what they got.
This was Lou's interview, so Lou should totally do it. Come on, Lou. Come on, this was your guy,
I don't
man.
have the source material in front of me, and I don't want to mispronounce his name.
Neither do I. All right, Ralph, you're doing it.
All right, so guys, go check out the interview that we did with these guys at Brooklyn Comic Con. It's already on our YouTube page, and you can get all the information about their Kickstarter, which is going on now and for the next 13 days, if I remember right.
Yep.
And it is a great comic book, series of comic books, I should say. And you should go go check out the interview, go see how much fun we had at Brooklyn Comic Con, and go see how good their book is and go support it.
Their Kickstarter is the Saturn Effect Volumes 1 through 4.
There you go. And that is the interview we got from Brooklyn Comic Con. It is
one of the interviews.
It is one of the interviews, yeah. What's the name of the company again?
Red Sea Comics.
Red Sea Comics. There you go. So if you go onto our YouTube, you'll find the interview under Red Sea Comics and Brooklyn Comic Con.
Yeah, they're really cool. They had,
and the last thing we have before we go to our guests from Tyrants Conquest is our pals with the dice, the amazing dice, and they partnered up with this Kickstarter here to create something, where you guys can, have fun with dice. Faye is a pretty good Kickstarter, and of course our pals at Let's Get Dicey.
Yep.
Okay. I thought I remembered that wrong. I have partnered up with these guys. They got their dice going in here, and these guys have some amazing dices. So you guys should go check it out. You love D&D, These guys have fantastic dice. They handpick the dice, and when I met them at WinterCon, it was just like love at first sight. Believe me.
It was mostly because I kept looking for dice and Ralph kept getting dragged along.
Yeah, it is true, but you know what happens. When you get around dice, you get just sucked right in. And speaking of dice,
He's out.
Tyrants Conquest is a whole new way of looking at D&D, or just its own system where you play the role you want to play. Because there's sometimes where you want to play a role and it just can't figure out how to play it. These guys have figured out how you can play the role you want to play.
What? Did Ralph just create a segue from one section to another? Oh my goodness! What an amazing
what you're
segue.
talking about. You act like I planned this all out, and now I have Nick from Tyrants Conquest over here on the side. I hope he remembers he has his mic. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah. Hey guys, how you doing? And then realized immediately that no one could hear me.
That's why I was like, I hope he notices that his mic is not. So Nick, I love this idea that you've got put together here. I've been having fun talking about it, promoting it, because it's just being able to play the role that you want to play. Sounds like something fantastic, and it's always something that us and when we're playing our role-playing games, we want to do. We want to play the character we want to play. So now, Nick, I want to give you the floor, and you're going to explain a little bit about how this happened, what you're telling us. Give us the spiel.
Yeah, absolutely. So we really started about 4 years ago, and it's because I was completely pissed off at D&D. I was like, I'm so tired of these 12 classes and none of them fit.
I've been there.
Yeah, no, everybody has. So it started out as a little, okay, well, I'm going to add classes, and then we're going to add classes, and then we're going to change this, and then we're going to change this, and then we're going to add action points. And now we're going to add channeling, which is a really cool new system that I've never seen in any RPG, that really works well with a lot of fictional media. And I probably shouldn't detour too far onto that, but essentially, before you cast a spell using channeling, you have to channel the energy first. So you'll spend an action point or two to get the energy gathered, and then be able to use it.
Interesting.
And then, I mean, so we're a D100 rollover system just because it became very intuitive very quickly. So skills to hit, everything you can think of in our system uses percentile or D10. But that is the super, kind of basic Spark Notes.
Right.
I know we talked backstage a little bit more about classes. Do we want to recap that a little bit more?
Oh, definitely. Sure. I was about to say that it was interesting what you told us backstage with how you break it up, and how each level or each class pertains to a aspect of how it is in D&D. Go ahead and explain that.
Well, so like I said, I really don't like comparing it to D&D because we try very hard.
Believe me, it's no comparison. It's just that I know there's people out there going, we want to get this done. We want to do this, and I liked how you explained it backstage. So go ahead.
Yeah. So there's 6 tiers of classes. There's tier 0 through 5. Tier 0 is just completely so you want to be an adventurer. And tier 1's kind of the equivalent of level 1 in most systems, including D&D. Yeah, you have a little bit of experience under your belt, and you're ready to go. And then you go, and it's kind of an exponential growth from there. Tier 2 is what you would expect to be fairly, people who are fairly highly trained. Right. Veterans are tier 2. Tier 3 is like a king's champion. Tier 4 is, once a generation master swordsman. And then tier 5 is, I'm going to go fight God and become it. And the really cool, yeah, and the very cool thing about it is it's completely flexible. At any time you can change your class. And each class pretty much has 10 levels. So you can go 5 levels up warrior and go, I want to do 5 levels of mage, and then 5 levels of beastmaster, and then 5 levels of essentially cleric. We don't call them clerics, they're but channelers. You can technically play musical classes forever,
Which is
which
great
really
because
allows you to.
that is one of the issues you have when you're playing other games is that in order to do something like that, you actually have to put in the work, put in the levels to be able to make the character the way you want it, and it takes a long time.
Yeah. Well, and here it's very organic. If you run a mission and your character has a near-death experience, you decide you want to go find God, well, there's a very easy way to both mechanically reinforce that as well as while you're role playing it.
Right.
Which to me, having the tools to show that I'm role playing something has always made me a lot happier.
Well, that's
So.
the important thing because sometimes just making something up and going, well, there it is. That's the easy way. The whole thing is to role play it to get your character to where they are because you've actually lived that life.
Yeah. Oh, and that's the other thing is we really do expect everyone to level up about once per session, honestly, because there's so many levels.
Hmm.
The way we have our XP set up and milestone leveling is we really suggest, hey, level up once per session, and that allows a very organic character. It really allows you to make the character and allow your character to grow as it does over the course of a campaign.
That is great. And as a DM, I know that sometimes I've had to homebrew systems to get the game to do what I needed to do for the story.
Yep. Well, again, we've been working on it for 4 years. I'm not going to say no one will ever homebrew anything. Rah rah rah. I mean, that's insane. There's always going to be something that, well, I want to play a super chaos knight out of this specific universe. Well, we're a general system. You can't play a chaos space marine here. Knock on wood.
I want to play a giant furry space guardian from the planet Yucatar where everyone's just giant pink tigers.
Wow.
All of that is easy. All of that is doable. Again, I will also say this. This is something I haven't considered, but I do want to point out we do not use an alignment system. It's completely open to your role playing.
Interesting.
There's no good, evil, lawful chaos, none of it.
Heresy. How will I say that's what my player would do?
That's kind of the point.
I have to admit.
I will say.
I was going to say, I have
Sorry?
to admit that sometimes that system gets in the way because you want to play a certain character and that system actually pigeonholes you in a certain way so that, well, no, you are this. And I'm like, well, yeah, but I want to play this. So it goes with what you're
I really
saying.
wanna
It
kill the
allows you to
village.
play the role you want to play.
Yeah. Yep. So I do want to kind of talk about casting and channeling. So we have two forms of magic.
Mhm.
Mages, and they start at Neophyte at tier 0 and end at Archmage um, at tier 5. And I apologize, Grandmaster at tier 5, tier 4 is Archmage. But
Right.
anyway, not they use mana, and we have 12 schools of magic. And kind of the cool thing about our magic system is every spell is double keyworded. So, for example, if you want to throw a fireball, it is firelight.
Right.
If you want to, uh, now obviously I'm drawing a blank on other spells, but if you
Magic
want to
missile.
teleport, magic missile is pretty much evocation. We kept that one pretty simple.
Okay, that's
Um,
true. Hmm.
but so and what that means is that within the school there's almost, I won't call them outliers, but you're kind of like, oh wow, that's yeah, okay, yeah, that's not a pure necromancy spell. That's and I will say also this that we really lean into while I'm talking about necromancy. Necromancy, we really lean into it not being evil. Um, and illusions kind of more described evilly, though obviously neither one of them is truly good nor evil because we do maintain that line. But we try to kind of bring necromancy back to being, it depends on how you use it rather than,
I got
oh, the
you.
lich is evil.
This would have came in handy when I ended up going lich in one of the games I was playing. And we had to figure out how to make it so that I wasn't evil at the same time. I was going in that direction. It was fun, and it was an interesting character to play.
That does sound interesting.
You're resurrecting people in order to find who murdered them.
That would be interesting too. I just
As
got
far as I'm
resurrected.
concerned, that makes you good.
Yeah.
That's the easy solution.
So
One
Alice
of
And
says,
living.
"Why is the double keyword significant in the system?"
So it's mostly significant to allow, I won't say a lot more flexibility, but it means that when you're opening up a wizard, especially a low-level wizard that doesn't have access to a lot of schools yet, just because he
Right.
hasn't learned a lot of schools, it allows a little more. I'll read a spell real quick. Tier 2 spell called Armor of Flame. When the target is hit, reflect up to 10 physical damage back to the source before damage reduction. The target of the spell gains +5 elemental damage reduction.
Right.
Right? That's a flame battle spell. So most flame spells are kind of AoE damage or speed. Haste and lightning is also under the flame school of magic.
Right.
Because I'll swear I've never moved as fast as shortly after I burned myself on a pot of something.
That's true.
But so that kind of leans flame a little more toward a self buff, a protection. But does it, but it's still both.
Right.
So you
So
correspond elements with how effectively like they would be perceived.
I'm not sure I understood that question. I apologize.
No, that's all right. So like each element sort of has its own personality type to it. I guess is another way to put it.
Absolutely. Yep. So we have 6 elements, as we call them, elemental schools of magic. And so they are fire, air, earth, water, void, and light. And every school of magic has its flavor, for lack of a better term.
Right.
Right.
One thing we've also really focused on is, I mean, don't get me wrong, you can still cast a battle mage, but our mages are much more well-rounded and much more focused on control in a variety of ways. So pushing, pulling, gravity wells, sheets of ice, causing difficult terrain. I mean, there's 350 spells in the core rulebook, and I'd wager that half of them have to deal with keeping your opponent away from yourself.
Which
Stay
makes
away from
sense,
me.
as somebody who's played mages before. That's the whole thing is to make sure that you're not in the line of fire because mages are crumbly.
Well, and they are in our system as well. I mean, we use larger numbers, but so for example, a warrior at tier 2, or let me go ahead and use the proper term, um, and grab it. So at tier 1, a soldier gets 20 plus Constitution modifier per level of health.
Right.
Right. The adept, same level, 5 plus Constitution modifier per level. But he gets a lot more. Well, he gets mana and spells and, all that fun stuff.
Right.
But so, again, you can absolutely just play a fireball mage. Mana exists, no spell slots, so you can just go crazy if you want. But,
It's funny that you said battle mage before because one of the problems with the D&D system itself is that making a battle mage, if unless you have a specialized um system or specialized character, it's pretty difficult to do because I know we've tried before in some of our games to have a specific battle mage, which means it's a warrior mage, and it's been difficult to like get done. So this sounds like you can actually get it done the right way.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, so one of the things we have is art. So again, there's 3 classes. You have Arcane Warrior at tier 1, Sorcerer Soldier at tier 3, and Eldritch Knight at tier 5, which
Right.
are pretty much split down the middle. And also, the School of Battle deals heavily with increasing weapon damage and armor and reflecting damage.
Right.
It's not exclusively that, but the School of Battle is much more useful to a warrior than it is to Merlin or
Right.
Gandalf.
Alice says, so casters start off more specialized than most systems. You start with spheres or how your game terms it.
So we call them schools. It is just the way we use it. And actually, I would argue that they're far less specialized
Right.
because each of the school is very open, for lack of a better term.
Right.
It absolutely it's not. I would argue that it's less specialized.
Less
In
special.
addition, the Tier 0 Neophyte, which is the Tier 0 mage, can get up to, if you want to be completely, not gain any mana, not gain any spells, you could get 7 schools of magic.
Right.
Or, hold on. So you can pick multiple if you wish and be incredibly well-rounded, but with not a whole lot of spells.
Right.
Or you can be very narrow.
Okay.
But that really depends on how you wish to make your character.
Again, which goes back to the whole thing. Play it the way you
Yeah.
I feel like
again,
you got a pretty good circle going here.
Yeah. Well, every decision we made really dug back into making that, making that possible and really making it as customizable as you want. And here's honestly the thing: we made it almost a game with our playtesters, but we asked people like, make the craziest character you can think of. Make. I really don't know if I'm allowed to reference video game characters right
You
now.
could. You
Like, is
could.
that? Okay. Like, I mean, we made Kratos from God of War. We made
Right.
Meliodas from the Seven Deadly Sins. I mean, we made normal people too, like, Robin Hood, but
What
we
about
really
Subaru?
didn't. Subaru the car?
Subaru from ReZero.
I don't know what that one is. I'm sorry. But
Basically,
if you can
he
just.
dies and he just constantly keeps dying, but because of his dying, he knows what's gonna happen.
That would probably be pretty close to a mage, because there's conjuration spells that only have, that allow prescience because you're conjuring information. We did
Right.
fold divination into that.
Nice.
I did want to point out something real quick since we
Mm-hmm.
circled back to spells and I realized there might have been some confusion. As far as the keywords go, you only need one of the keyword. So I realized that may have actually been more confusing, not less. And why that there was some of that specialization question.
Okay.
So if it's battle and earth, you
Mhm.
can just have battle or the earth school and then still learn it.
Understandable.
Yep.
It's funny because it sounds actually simple. It actually, there's a lot of technical terms in there, but it does sound like unlike some of the aspects of I guess I can say other games, your system sounds like it's easy to understand.
It's part of the reason we've really been dialing in on the intuitiveness of it,
Right.
because since everything's a D100, add the applicable modifiers. I mean, that's across the board.
Right.
I mean, and it's really, especially once you make your character, and you give a good read, maybe 2 reads through the book. Most people haven't had a hard time understanding it. And I will say that there's been some playtesters who we've had to fix some stuff
Right.
that it made sense to us, but it didn't make sense to them. So we've reworded it to make it more available to everyone.
And that's what it sounds like. It sounds like you've actually made it very available to everybody. Where this is what we want to do, and now I feel like I can do it using the system.
Yeah, and that was really seriously the goal is let people role play, get out of their way,
Right.
give them the rules, give them the tools, and then get out of their way.
Yeah, I think you did a good job because that's exactly what it sounds like. It's like, okay, this is how you're going to be able to do what you're going to be able to do. So I can see where the system is helping out the player.
I'm interested in checking
How
out.
does it help out the DM, and how does the DM handle the system to do what they need to do to get the game going?
So most of that is honestly, I hesitate to say really straightforward, but so in the core rulebook we have example monsters.
Right.
So if you just need a quick plug and play, that's pretty simple. In
That comes in
addition,
handy.
we also show them how to make monsters. Essentially, we give them our formula for how to do it and some guidelines, and people can make whatever they want and have it and pretty well balanced.
Well, that's
We
important
call
too.
it that's chapter 10, template monsters.
Right.
Um, so, as far as DM support, most of it's actually, I'm gonna take a step back. The simultaneous round is the hardest part of being a DM.
Right.
There's a lot of action going on.
A lot to keep track of.
Yes, especially if you're doing it in theater of the mind, which is how
Yeah.
I run games. I almost never use a board. But what we really notice fairly quickly is most people, especially in simultaneous rounds, you lose a lot of that hesitation and you really dig into um, I move forward. I do what I want to do, what my character would do in this situation.
Right.
And you almost get into the role playing tactical side of things.
Nice.
And so with simultaneous rounds, what essentially happens is this. You three have characters. You tell me what you're going to do. You move and chop at the goblin. I step back and shoot an arrow or load an arrow or cast a spell or whatever.
I
While
use
you're
magic
doing all
missile.
that, you cast Mana Bolt would be pretty much the equivalent.
Mana
All
Bolt.
spells automatically hit. Don't worry about it. They're, yeah. So all spells automatically hit.
Okay.
That's I won't say that's a minor mechanic. It's an important mechanic, but I don't consider it a discussion point. It's
Right.
just you guys would declare all that. I would tell you what you're doing.
Right.
Okay, the evasion of this is 80. Did you roll your to hit? Blah, and track damage. Which honestly, unless you're dealing with huge numbers, talking 40 or 50,
Right.
because we ramped it up until I started running into troubles with, okay, is this guy here, this guy here, theater of the mind, and really, honestly, it's about 40 for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fairly used to the system, and I have a good head for math, so I'm sure that number is different for other people.
Right.
But I can't tell you the last time in D&D I fought 40 people, or much more than 10.
Yeah. Especially when you're doing theater of the mind, because you're as a DM, you have to keep track of where everybody is.
Well, but also let's kind of be honest. Even if you're being ambushed, there's 5 bandits.
Right.
There's 6 goblins. There's 2 orcs. Just how RPGs are run most times. There's not a huge number of things, even in D&D.
Right.
So as far as helping DMs, we give a lot of cheap numbers and easy numbers to quickly access and make sure everything runs smooth.
Mm.
And again, we give a lot of ability to. I don't know how to phrase this, but we have benchmarks for target numbers, what you would expect a test to be and everything else, that they can throw at things quickly, and it's all collected in graphs.
It sounds like it speeds up combat, which is one of the things that slow down role play in D&D itself.
Yeah. Honestly, combat is lightning fast, far faster than it seems like it should be. So again, I ran a little one shot for some other reviewers. I know I've been cheating on you, and I apologize.
Oh my god!
Don't worry, it's hard enough to get our group together.
That's true.
I understand that. But and they fought a giant panther, right? Not a big deal. I made a little template monster, blah blah blah. Mostly just to run through parts of the system that we haven't actually used.
Right.
So I used the template, rolled. I mean, they killed it. It was 3 rounds of combat, or 4.
Right.
I honestly forget. 15 minutes.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah. I mean,
In all honesty, that sounds like what it should be.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and these were brand new people. These were from Geeks A Go Go. See, and I apologize, Alice. That's a weird question to me. I don't know how to answer
She
that.
elaborates more in the next, where
Oh,
I'll put it
I
up.
apologize.
Woo. Like if Hero System is the super crunchy side,
yeah.
D&D is mid-spectrum, and say Fate or PBTA
Mhm.
is on the lighter end, where did this fall? Oh, that is a much more.
Yeah. So it's definitely crunchier than Fate. It's hard not to be crunchier than Fate. I'll be honest. I would probably put it in the same realm as D&D. Honestly, between D&D 5e and D&D 3.5.
Interesting.
Um,
Okay.
it becomes intuitive quickly. The most crunchy portion of this is very simply because we use as large of numbers as we do to maintain growth and to make things make sense, honestly.
Right.
It's not unreasonable for you to have, well, I'm a level 27 warrior, so I have plus 27 to hit. I rolled an 82. Or we could even get really bad. We use both exploding and critical dice. So on an exploding dice is 10, 20, 30, any multiple of 10.
Right.
So if you roll a 20 and then a 40 and then a 33, well, now you have to add that plus your 27 to hit.
Right.
That's kind of I hesitate to call it crunchy, but it is. It absolutely is. But if you can deal with that level of arithmetic, I'd say it's not crunchy at all.
Okay. She also says powered by the apocalypse is PBTA.
Oh no, I know. I'm not actually. I don't know. I was very frustrated with the Avatar game that came out because of PBTA. So, no, I recognize that one.
Of course, the
Oh,
whole reason we're talking about this is because you do have the Kickstarter. I guess we can play your video now, so we can show off a little bit of what's going on over here. Let's see, Tyrant. Here you go. Hopefully it'll play right. Gotta admit, like when I've seen the book, all the places I've seen the book, it looks like an interesting read.
That's really good to hear. It's always hard to tell what things look like from the outside.
Right, and it kind of looks like a classic role playing game, you know.
I mean, it is. I don't know how to phrase, how to almost address that. I mean,
Well, what
there
I'm
was
saying
one
is like
other.
the books, they look like something you would see in a role playing game or as part of the role playing game because it just has an intuitive feel to, hey, let's go play this world.
Yeah, awesome. Like I said, that is one thing I did want to mention. There's two more things I wanted to make sure we hit before we wrap this up. And honestly, the first one is we make a point of reiterating information constantly.
Right.
For example, our spells, if you would be now, I clicked a random number. I knew what pages them, shattering armor, blah blah blah. One of the things it can do is it can target number 100 Constitution save or become dazed. And then in the bottom of that spell, we'll tell you what dazed is. And we do that every single time there's a status effect. Anytime that you're going to have to have to look through the book to figure out what it is. We
Right.
pretty much tell you right in that section.
Right.
The other thing, since we're looking at the dwarf that a couple of people have reviewed it are really happy about, we actually have a commander class and talent group that gives out free movement and stuff like that.
Right.
He'll essentially spend his action point to, hey, you get a bonus, you do cool things, commanding.
Well, the art is beautiful, I have to say.
Thank you so much. That's
and pretty unique as well.
Well, that's the noble artist. Like I said, we commissioned him for this to get us going good, and he will be making more art for some of our pledges.
Nice.
We have several, our higher, yeah. So the basic book, you don't get any art, but for some of the higher ones, you'll be able to get sketches. If you go a little more, you can have colored art. And our top tier is, you get your character, we'll talk about it on our world, and you will even get to include it in the book. That's one more down. You haven't actually rolled down enough yet. But
there's the dice.
Dice are always great.
And they're going to be kind of special for us because our system, it doesn't use the classic Chessex dice. You need percentile and at least 3d10. So we go on ahead and.
I see you do set it up.
Yeah.
So the tier you were talking about is this one here, the Tyrants Conquest Collector's Cache, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's one where you'll get to be included in the book, and you'll have a lot more of a story in our world. Because one of the things we're really trying hard to do is we really want people to love our system and engage in the world we're building around them.
I gotta admit, we want them. An amazing tier, the ability to put your character into the world.
Yeah. Well, everyone will be able to put it on the website. They're putting it into the book, and they will get their own little short story. It won't just be did you hear about Nimrod? He was a blah 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 warrior. You'll get a special story just for you. But it is very limited. We're only allowing 10 right now. So
you hear that, people? You want to be part of this book? You want to be in the mythology? It's not much. It's a $500 pledge.
Yeah. And it will be going up Friday. So we do have an appropriateness clause, I will say, because we went, make whatever you want, and then one of us went, yes. PG.
Now you get Bodie McBoatface.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you have to say
Dragon
that.
McDragon.
I'm already imagining some people doing some crazy shit.
My name is Long Slong.
Yeah.
So I come from the far.
We will work with you, and you. This is something we plan to update on Friday when we update our prices.
Right.
Because this is currently early bird prices. I do want to say that. One of the things we are going to do though is we're going to do character outlines, and that means you're going to see a little sneak peek of the book, so you can actually build your character. Obviously, you can't have the entire thing, but we'll take out the sections that are germane to making a character. And then we'll work with you. You'll work with our team to make the character what you want, exactly how you want it. Give us personality. And Ekaterina will write you an awesome story. She does an amazing job of writing flavor text.
Nice. I like all that. That sounds really cool.
Cool.
Yeah, see, these are the pages I saw. I'm like, this is just fantastic.
And that's what our book's going to look like. Those are obviously they're different pages. Because that's in our creature list, and that's a class, but that's our final product right there. So if you like how it looks,
I said, it looks fantastic. It looks like I want to play this.
Awesome. Oh, back it up.
Assassin, come on.
I have loved our Facebook group. They have lost their mind about the Minotaur Assassin. How does someone with hooves, go up walls silently, and the last thing you hear?
Surprisingly, very easily, depending on the species.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, we've gotten everything
No
from suction cups
fingerprints.
on the hooves to shut up, it's fantasy. It's been crazy. It's been fun.
And of course, we can't not talk about Naomi because I know you were gonna have the avatar be your avatar for this conversation, but you weren't able to get it done. But I guess I'll introduce the audience to Naomi. I'll play the video. Hold on.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Naomi the Traveler. I have journeyed from Orbis to Earth to inform you of the Chronicles of Tyrants Conquest. Tyrants Conquest is formed in the terms of a tabletop role-playing game to assist you in traveling to other planes of existence. I hope to reach all of you who are interested in creating and venturing to new worlds. I can't wait to guide you on each of your journeys. Farewell for now, Naomi.
Was there a double on that? Like a double audio loop?
No,
It
that's
felt like
just
it
Ralph.
was. It's
That's
probably just
Ralph.
me.
Someone's playing it through their own headset.
It's probably
Ralph.
just me.
That had me really scared for a minute. I was like,
No. Don't. That's Ralph. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a better computer, but right now we'll do what we.
Just plug in your mic, bro. Just plug in
Nah,
your mic.
What we call the joys of live streaming.
Exactly.
But yeah, Naomi the Traveler is essentially who's bringing everyone this book. She's the one who is making it from the real world to a book that we can see here to travel to those worlds that she has traveled to. That's the essence of who Naomi the Traveler is.
I like the idea of using her as the avatar to the game. I've enjoyed watching the different videos that you have, and if you guys get a chance, go to their TikTok or go to their Facebook, and you'll see other little videos with Naomi. And Alice here says, "Yay, exploding nice! I love it for Shadowrun. I used to love Shadowrun."
Yeah. Well, like I said, we definitely tried to take the best ideas from everywhere because, and this is something I've said before, and it probably sounds corny at this point, but I really do believe it. We've spent 4 years making this the best system on the market, period. And I really do believe this is the best game system that's going to be on the market in the next
Right.
5 years. Um, I mean, we have a lot of experience and we've really play tested it and really brought in people from everywhere to look it over and to give their opinions on what works and what doesn't. And I really think that this is absolutely something I'm going to play. It's actually something within our company that we've worked on. They're like, hey, Friday night game night. Can we get off work a little early? And so.
Well, it's a great system. I like it. I feel like it adapts to what you needed to adapt to. It lets you play what you want to play. It kind of goes with what you've been saying. It actually delivers with what you've been saying.
Yeah. I did just get a question I do want to address before we finish this. Someone a while back asked me about skills. And I didn't really know how to answer it because it seems really simple. But skills are on a D100. So you'll have a target number 70, for example. You'll roll a D100, add your skill rank, and that's roll over, you win. Roll under, you fail.
Right.
But I did just get a specific question through my phone that I needed to address that. So sorry.
Oh, I get a lot of those things. We actually worked on this thing behind me called write a story together, and I keep getting these little bits of information from people who are like, "No, Ralph, I want to tell you directly what I want you."
Kill the corgi.
I knew you were gonna say that. You
Anytime
guys are the ones
mention
that put
it,
them
I'm
into
gonna
the
just
story,
say
so.
it. You just say it now. Well, it's dead.
So I
I said that.
understand with the questions, and but that's also good because it showcases that your audience, the group of people who want to play this game from that you've gathered around you, are really invested in it.
Yeah. Well, and we try really hard to maintain engagement. I mean, just because, fuck, we care. We've played so many systems. I mean, I recognized every one that Alice Ping had mentioned. I mean, I played every single one of those.
Right.
You know, and more. I mean, I have probably played 40 systems, ranging from mainstream Pathfinder and D&D, all the way to the one that no one recognizes. And that's what this is a matter of love for me. This is everything I wanted growing up to play. Yeah, I almost wish I didn't have to create it and someone else had, kind of thing,
I
because it's
feel
been a
you.
long journey to get here. And
See, and that's one of the things that I saw when I looked at your project is the fact that you guys have this passion, and we love passion here at Bit and Apple TV. We love seeing the passion of our creators and how they are so enamored with what they're working on that they want to show it to the world. And you guys really do have that passion.
yeah, we absolutely do. I've said it once, I'll say it again. I really believe we've made the best game system on the market.
And I gotta say, like from listening to you here talk and looking at what I've looked at, it does deliver the fact that you are going to play what you want to play, which is, you're not fibbing when you say that.
No. No. Oh, one other thing that you guys might appreciate, as far as equipment goes, so the way we did equipment also feeds into make what you wish. So, for example, weapons. If you
Right.
wanted to make a katana, you take a longsword, and then we have adjectives that you'll add to it. So it can be heavy, curved, light, masterwork, large
Interesting.
hilt, oversized
Hmm.
blade. So if you want to make a katana, you'd probably make a large hilt, which would essentially make it a bastard sword,
Right.
curved.
Okay.
Um, if you want a trident, you'll take a short spear and you'll just make it a short spear. We
Right.
don't give, there's no real, I'm sorry.
Go on, finish.
Trident, extra blades don't have anything, and we make a point of saying that, like sais or daggers. We don't. That's really cool, Alice. But
Yeah, it is cool. She says I've played over 300 systems so far. We collect them. Yes, we do. I have to say, you start to run out of space for things.
yeah, that's why when everyone was asking us about PDFs, we are like, no, no, no. Hell, no, I guess we can't, blame them.
Also,
But
you
we're
do
going to have
have
a
a PDF
beautiful.
tier.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Okay,
We actually made it yesterday or almost the day before now, depending on what time zone you're in.
true.
Um, just, we have this beautiful hardcover book that's really going
I was
to.
about to say
I,
that. It's so funny. A lot of and I feel like you should have a PDF tier, but as a collector, you always want to have that book. you know.
yeah, yeah. Well, like I said, I'd love to answer any more questions, but that's the basic synopsis of what we're doing.
Well,
Uh,
that
we
that
we're so
goes to.
happy.
I was gonna
I'm
say that
sorry.
goes to a good place because you've explained it, and it actually was a great explanation. The system sounds like it's simple to pick up and do. Of course, with anything, it's simple, and then you have to master it. So I feel like once you master it, even becomes better.
I hope so. Like I said, I don't think anyone's mastered it yet, not even me. So,
Well, that's the fun of it. That's especially as a DM or even as a player is being able to master the system to a point where you can play. And here you actually are. That's your goal is to be able to play what you want to play. Brandon Powers says, "When are you going to have actual plays for backers to watch?" Interesting.
I actually think I discussed this with them on the Kickstarter itself, but I may not have. We're not sure we're going to be able to do it while the Kickstarter is live.
Right.
So we recently did one playtest run, and we have an audio recording of that, but it needs a lot of work.
Right.
And we're currently very busy just trying to make sure everything stays apace and staying on top of things it's supposed to.
The nature of
So as
Kickstarter.
far exactly, and I mean, and I still work a full-time job, and
Yeah.
so does everyone on the team. So It's as far as an actual play test that we can show you and sit down. That's almost certainly going to be after the Kickstarter. Just due to the nature of what it is.
Right.
There is one individual who might have it out in time. He is called RPG Blender. And once the link's available, we'll send out an update in the Kickstarter. But it's, he's working at his own pace, and I can't blame him. He has the classic RPG scheduling problem. I mean, so.
That's pretty much everyone on the team here.
Exactly.
People are busy. Life exists. But
we understand the having to have a job, because sometimes you have to pay for the dream.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and this has all been out of pocket. I mean, we've had to, and it's also part of the reason it's taken 4 years is because, when you have to pay everything out of pocket.
Oh, we know.
Good work is expensive.
Yeah. We definitely know.
I'm sure you guys do.
Yeah, we have our own projects we're working on, and especially mine it's been a slow process because I've been pulling everything out of my own pocket. So.
Yeah. That is the exciting part about this Kickstarter. One of the parts I feel really, excuse me, we're in the South, but I feel really blessed about is. We made it on day one. 28 hours in, we were funded.
Yeah, that is blessed.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really hope we can maintain that upward trajectory because we have a lot of really exciting things in the pipeline. We have actually no. It's toward the end of the video. I think I'm gonna stop that one where it is. But we have 2 more books that we're outlined and working on right now. That if we can get the money out for it, we'll release them in a year. But yes, she was. Like I said, me and her have actually had a 20-string message. Me and Alice Ping.
Okay.
Brandon Powers mentioned she was one of the first backers.
And, wow, Alice was one of the first backers. You go, Alice.
Mm-hmm. She has asked a lot of really good questions. It's part of the reason I was like, hey.
I can tell she is a player of RPGs.
Yeah. I said I think we have a 20 message string where I didn't 20 on the dot. I'm good. We're just hey, how does this work? Here's how it works. Here, how does this work? And
but that's always exciting. That's always great because that means that actually somebody's understanding your game, and if they're asking these in-depth questions, they want to delve farther into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, it also makes sure that we have the answers.
Exactly.
I would hate for someone to be like, hey, how does the sky falling work? Well, I guess we need to write that rule in. As a point of interest, the sky falling is not currently in the book. I do want everyone to, if the sun goes out,
That's completely true. So we definitely know how it works because we told her how it works, and now we know that it works.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
No, I was just. It's so exciting to almost have it out there and be able to talk to people about it and really be able to discuss what's going on. Because shows we're not crazy and this isn't some weird hobby on the side. It's real. It's tangible.
And it is, and the fact that you got this funded in one day, it says something about your project. Very few projects can get themselves funded in one day.
Yeah. I remember reading somewhere that 40% of projects couldn't get funded at all.
Exactly. We've seen some of those here, and we've helped others get the word out. It's one of the things we love to do. And like I said, as soon as I saw your game, I was like, I have to talk to these guys. I have to see what they're doing, and we have to put this stuff out there because the fact that just the fact that you can play what you want to play, and I know that it's happened over and over when I've played D&D, is that trying to figure out how to play the character that you actually want to play gets really complicated, or you have to go through a lot of hoops and hurdles to be able to at least accomplish it in some way or another.
Yep. Oh, and that's something. One of the harder ones. It sounds crazy, but watch and you'll see how difficult it is. Is make an explorer, just a classic. Oh, I was in a library and then I became an explorer to go hunt down ancient stuff. How
Right.
hard that is.
Mm.
So, I mean, in our system, we obviously don't have any issue with it, but in most systems,
Yeah.
something as simple as using a sword in one hand while holding a book that, and being intelligent and being a dungeon delver, that's hard. It's hard to find a system that can cover that
Which is funny because
adequately.
that's one of those basic characters.
Yeah. Well, it's honestly kind of become my yardstick of,
Right.
you know, how customizable is this game?
Right. So they are at 5,202, 54 backers, 28 days to go. Like I say all the time, guys, just because they fund it doesn't mean that they're out of the woods. What we usually want to do, especially with Kickstarters, is double the money. But as always, the more money they get, the more they can bring to you. Because most people who do Kickstarters don't make money off the Kickstarters. They actually are putting all that stuff back into the book or whatever
Yeah,
they're
absolutely.
Kickstarting.
Yeah. Yeah, we won't see much to any of this. I said yeah. Um,
Labor of love.
but yeah, no, we absolutely we have stretch goals for 50,000 and 100,000, and that would be beyond amazing to be able to hit those, and it would really allow us to expand and be able to give people more of what we can do, and kind of the proof that we have the best system ever.
Right. Brandon Powers says, regarding Explorer, I have been hacking PF a lot to make something. Been working on Scholar class. I am smart. I know things, and therefore I can be good. Don't have the best answers yet, but looking.
Well, Pathfinder is one of the better systems to either homebrew something or kind of play with it.
That is very
Its
true.
big problem is it has 20 levels.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. We're not capped. Period. By all technicality, there's 81 classes, and I want to say there's like, you know, 790 odd levels. You
Right.
can be 790 whatever levels. I will say once you max out each class, at that point you're kind of on your own. You beat God 800 levels ago. I don't know why y'all are still going. You
Well,
know.
that's funny because it's they always you got the 20 levels in D&D, and very rarely do people make it past 13, 14, 15.
Yeah.
You know,
It's hard
because
to
it's
get
starting
it
to
Absolutely.
get
past
difficult
5.
when you're playing level 20. Even though I've played
We don't
level
really.
20.
We definitely have that level 20 equivalent. Our tier 5 is level
Mhm.
20 equivalent. But what really helps is one, we have a flat explorer class.
Right.
He is a skill monkey from all get out. He has the most skills of anybody in the game, period. But what we wanted to do is, again, please homebrew. If there's something crazy that we didn't include, or even not crazy, one, send us a message. We'll make sure it's included in a FAQ or on our website or something. But if there's something here, it should be relatively easy to slot it into place. Our progression, and our formulas for balance are fairly apparent
Right.
when we don't just outright give them to you, like in monsters.
Well, it sounds like you made a system that actually delivers on all that stuff. All right, so we're near the 15 mark. What's your last word? Where can they find you? Besides the fact that they can go to the Kickstarter, all the goody stuff that you want to leave with our audience.
So as far as finding us, the easiest way to get in contact is Facebook, Tyrants Conquest, or honestly, Tyrants Conquest. That's my email. That's, our Facebook. That's the Kickstarter. That's, if you really got to get an official message in, gamemaster@tyrantsconquest.com. And as far as goodies go, please tune into the Kickstarter. Even just following it, you'll get a lot of the information. Friday, we have some really cool stuff in store. This coming Wednesday, so 6 days from now, we'll have some really cool stuff in store. But I also really, I'd love people to interact with it and experience it. I don't want to be like, hey, by the way, at this we're going to do this. Friday we're going to hike. We are going to stop the early bird special that we're running right now,
Right.
And increase prices. But we're also going to include stretch goals, address some comments, share some links so people can watch this, and be able to release more information.
Well, that's interesting.
Wednesday.
Because I was
Yeah.
going to say, you sound like you're making an interactive Kickstarter. It's alive, it's moving, it's changing, and I don't think I've seen many of those.
RPGs belong to people.
Yeah.
It doesn't belong to me. I mean,
Mhm.
it's RPGs are more about people than anything. You
Exactly.
can pick the worst system ever. Well, maybe not the worst. That's Fatal, and that is an atrociously bad system. And if you have a good group, you can make anything work.
That's true.
But so it's all about people and making sure that it stays light and fun and escapism. I mean, we're all playing this to be something we're not. And so
Yeah.
you have to allow people to play that.
That's actually pretty good. And it's true. It's what we're trying to do. We're trying to escape from reality, find a place where we can. We all know that RPGs are a way to open the mind, relieve the mind. It's therapy. That
Yeah.
we work things through that we may not be able to work through in our normal lives.
Yeah. That's pretty much my parting thing is I try. It should not be hard to reach me at any given time, other than from midnight to 4 a.m. Central Time. You're not going to be able to contact me at those times.
Makes sense.
And if you got something, message. You can ask Alice Payne. She's been in contact a lot, and I think I've been pretty good about instantaneous response, and making sure that the answers are correct.
That says a lot. Like I said, it sounds like you're being very interactive with this Kickstarter, and you don't see that much. And I feel like you guys out there, the audience, should take advantage of that because it feels like we're forming this together. And of course, that's what RPGs are. It's a sense of community. It's a sense of getting your gang together and playing something that you remember for ages to come.
All right. Well, it was great talking to you guys. I think that's a good note to end it on. I'm trying to be PG. The later the night goes on, the harder it gets.
It is.
And not cussing that's rough.
It is. Believe me, like I say, I usually put the rule in because I know I'm going to say a curse word or two while the night goes.
He already did. I've been counting.
I've said a couple of them. I know. So guys, remember this RPG. Well, it is an RPG. This Kickstarter is going. They've already funded. Let's get them higher. Let's try to double the money, and so they can have a nice cushion on what they want to do. And as you heard, things are gonna happen. On Friday, they got some stuff they're gonna reveal. Next Wednesday, they got some stuff they're gonna reveal. So tune in, check it out. This sounds like a fantastic game. If you love role-playing games, I really do think you should check this out. With that, I think I will go to our friend Nat, and he will say stuff.
Okay. Ask the guy who's like half here to do this. All right. Give me a second. On Monday morning, on Mondays at 7:30, we have Apple Bites, where Leslie and Ralph talk to different people on their show, Apple Bites, and find out what's going on. On Wednesdays, there's another Writ at 11:30, a usual time Eastern Standard, and you can come find us out and see what we're talking about. Most likely, some more creators that we've met recently. Don't forget to keep your eyes checked out on our content from Brooklyn Comic Con. You can find those interviews being posted up if you like, subscribe, and follow us on all forms of social media, primarily on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook and Instagram, to which you can find all of us. Don't forget to follow Lou Schaefer right here, right below me at Shadow Rabbit Clay Guy. And don't forget to follow Shen at Floofschmallow. Anything else, Ralph will continue on as I slowly drift off to sleep.
As you see, we're all tired today. We're still making our way from Brooklyn Comic Con, which is a fantastic trip. But these conventions can take some stuff out of you. So, Shadow, besides the fact that you are an amazing figure maker and all that other beautiful stuff, which we don't see today because you're in a different part of your house, what do you want to leave with the audience?
Also, that I'm completely awake, and if at any point I've been dancing in and out of consciousness, I apologize. Yeah, man, yo, keep doing your thing. I mean, anything that helps you, that helps people get to be the person they want to be is a good thing. And you
What's
can
a
do
good
it
way
right
to
now.
be the person we want to be?
And if we use Tyrants Conquest, we can be the role. We can play the role we want to play. Nice segue there. With that, of course, I do what I always do. I press the button, and when it stops, nobody